Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Stooge Experience. I'm one half of the Stoogery, Nick. My counterpart to that, so I had to do this
Get it
every
wrong
time.
every time.
Zach, bro, I can't get it
Every
right,
single
bro.
time without fail.
Bro, I think the
Jeez.
worst part about that was I actually was like, oh no, I finessed it this time if I go that
It's
way.
always the
But
opposite of whatever you
yeah,
think it's. Then I'm here, and then I'm like, wait, that way? Okay.
but it could be a signature now. Start here, and then
It's a
boom. You
little
know what I mean?
misdirection. I
Yeah,
like it.
bro.
Yeah,
I
here we
mean,
are.
normally, we get to the weekend recap. I think it wouldn't be right to not just start with that SC game because
Yeah, yeah. There's so much to say, yet I have so few words.
poetic.
I have mainly just like facial expressions and like just
Yeah.
me being in disarray. Um, that game was That was a shit game. Well, not a shit game. Just like I don't
Just
even
closer
know.
than it needed to be.
Yeah, like just an unnecessarily stressful game.
I mean,
I don't know what else to say really.
that pretty much puts it in words. I mean, bro, I felt like at points when we were watching the game, bro, it looked like Pop Warner out there just not being able to tackle a running back. Like, just
Yeah.
couldn't. It was like there was something in like the defense's head. Like, I just can't tackle this guy. Like, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
And
It
it was
was
just,
like it was almost a not a tale of two halves. Like the first quarter was so bad for SC.
oh yeah,
Like Arizona had 10 points and we had 10 yards. I was
yeah,
like, okay, this is weird. This is weird. And then eventually it kind of turned into like kind of a shootout. I mean, the point total kind of doesn't fully tell the story because it went to triple OT, so like it wasn't that much of a high scoring game, like, honestly.
yeah.
It was more in that upper 20s, low 30s range, which like isn't that much, but like it was a Pac-12 after dark game, that's for sure. It did not
Oh baby,
disappoint. If you were
man.
watching it, if you were up at 11:30 at night or 2:30 a.m. on the East
2:30 a.m.
Coast, you
East
got
Coast.
a good one.
I mean, it was just like we're sitting there watching the game, and I'm watching like guys just running butt naked. I mean, no defender in sight for Arizona,
Yeah.
and then USC got this high flying offense. I would dare say one of the top in the country. And we're just like, I think we were just trolling, trying to throw the deep ball all the time, not wanting to take checkdowns, and
This is what I
it
kind of
almost
boiled it
cost us.
down to a little bit. I think that USC's offense almost plays better against better teams because they don't really unlock the full offense. And what I mean by that is Caleb's running ability and
Yeah,
willingness to really like go get 7 yards for a first down. He doesn't really do it in the first quarter or even the first half if they're playing a team that's kind of just like, all right, we'll get a bunch of possessions, we'll score eventually. Like with Arizona, the first two drives, like maybe there were a couple times where he could have, like, all right, I'm about to go get mine right now. I'm gonna get us a first. I might have to lower the shoulder, do whatever. But he's not willing to do that in the first quarter because you then saw it in the end of the game on the 2 points, on the carrying that guy into the end zone, on the touchdown. Like it's there, but I think sometimes they played so safe and so like, I don't want to get hurt. We'll be all right. We'll get another possession. And then you don't, or the other team goes down and now you're down 10-0. You're like, wait a second. Oh, this turned into more of a game than we needed versus against a different team from the jump. Maybe you extend that first drive and you go down and even get 3 points. You take 6 minutes, 5 minutes off the clock, and then it's not we're down 10 zip. It's like, it's 7-3 and we're kind of just in a game now. We know what it's going to be.
no, I agree with that 100%. I think it's also just thinking about like what Caleb was seeing out there. Like he saw a lot of man coverage and a lot of three match, which for our team should be pretty easy to go through. But when they're running that, they're like baiting you into throwing that deep ball, and for some reason we just couldn't connect on them. Like,
Yeah, I think we were definitely missing speed on the
yeah, we're missing
outside.
number one for sure.
No branch
Yeah,
was tough.
yeah,
Like the other guys I wouldn't call them. I mean, Taj Washington is fast. They couldn't really get him going. Well, they did on that one
That, like, 20
That
yard
one deep
little
there
hitch
was
route.
one, but he kinda had to, like, turn the other way so he couldn't catch it in stride and score. So, like, they
Mhm.
never really got the big play touchdown that we're used to seeing. It was kinda just grind it out
Dinking
and
and
then
dunking all the way
get to
down.
the red zone. The run game wasn't as successful as it usually was, but credit to Arizona, I mean, they came to play. Those linebackers, those DBs, even the front like, the D linemen, they, like sure, they gave up 43, but it was a hard-fought 43. Like, it was a battle the whole way, and then, obviously, I'm pretty sure the Arizona kid threw, like, 5 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he
That's not
was
saying
playing good.
much. I mean, that's just I could probably get you 1 or 2 out there against SC. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like it's just like, surely the players aren't bad, right? Like
No. I mean, I wouldn't think so.
right? Like, I see,
Like,
I
in
guess,
theory.
like, I guess this the recruiting stars don't mean anything, but, like, surely somebody's good. Like,
Yeah,
every single guy they were putting in there was getting cooked.
yeah,
Just straight up getting cooked. Like, I don't understand, like, we don't have one guy that could just go in there and say, "You know what? This is my side of the field,
I'm
not
locking
on
this.
me." Nobody. It was a revolving door out
See,
there.
the confusing part about it, though, is because like, you gotta think from the football mindset, like, "Okay, I can't cover their guys, like, long enough, right? Like, I can't do it one-on-one." So, why was it that I probably counted maybe 5 plays where we blitzed the entire game? It's like, if you can't cover them, at least
Mhm.
speed up the clock. Like, change the
Yeah.
guy's launch point. But then
Yeah,
there were some plays, man, where, like, Bear Alexander, love the guy, bro, but he broke through on, like, 3rd and I think it was 3rd and 15 on their like, they were backed up on their goal line, probably at, like, their 10, and Bear just runs right by the quarterback steps up and runs for 15 yards, gets a first. It's like,
yeah.
you gotta capitalize when you get those
Yeah,
plays,
this
but
game, obviously much higher scoring, but it really reminded me of, um, that game against Oregon State
yeah,
last year for USC that was just, like, a tough game, couldn't get
grind
much
out.
going, grind it out and win. Like, then I went and looked at a lot of the SC scores from last year, and it's not like they were out there blowing everybody out. There were, like, some low-key close games against Cal. Even the Arizona game ended up being a one-possession game last year. I think people are just overreacting more to this because they expected the defense to be so much better. So, like, even if it's just the same
Yeah,
as what it was,
there
it's
were so
still
many
a
big
it's still
expectations
a
for it.
a Caleb Williams injury last year away, and they're in the playoff.
Yeah, 100%,
So, it's still
100%.
like that's the not the ceiling, that's, like, what is realistically possible
Yeah,
even with the defense playing the way it is, because the offense can be so good, and I would say they're a little bit better than they were last year, but, I mean, we'll see how the
yeah,
rest of the games play out. This is kinda where the gauntlet begins here
yeah.
in these next 6 weeks.
No, I agree, and I saw a lot of people, on Twitter overreacting to the game, saying, "Is USC dead?" And it's like, as a USC fan, like, yeah, that game put me through a lot of emotions, but I'd kinda rather go through a tough test early
Yeah.
and not be
They
shocked to
won.
play like Notre Dame and,
Like, that's college. I remember back in the like, watching a bunch of, like, old Oregon games and old whoever like, there's always just random games that are tough. Anytime Oregon with Mariota, all those guys, if they had to go to
Stanford too.
Arizona if they're going to Arizona, if they're playing Stanford, those were the 2 big ones where you might win them both, but they're gonna be tough, or you might drop one. Like, it might
Yeah,
happen. That year that Oregon went to the national title game, they lost at home to Arizona.
I remember that. That was the
So
Scooby, right? Like,
yeah,
masterclass, right?
yeah, like, just sometimes that those games just, like they just happen, man, and especially when you're a good team, which is why it'll kinda be reflected in the top 10.
Yeah,
When you're a really great team, everyone's giving you their best punch. They're pulling out all the stops, they're pulling out the reverses, the trick plays. So, if you really handle business, then you should be rewarded, and, like, SC did not necessarily handle business, make it easy, so they'll drop in the rankings when you had teams like Michigan handled business, Georgia
yeah,
handled business. Now, they didn't play the best players, the best teams, but there was never a doubt in either of any of those games that they were gonna ever lose, so you have to take that into
yeah,
account, like, wins aren't gonna be equal, obviously, you win, so it's all good, like, you won,
yeah.
perfect, but yeah. And another SC defensive masterclass.
Hey, man, I gotta hand it to the defense, though. Kalen Bullock saved the game when he tipped
Yeah.
that, two-point conversion.
Yep.
Um, we were sitting with the boys and, I couldn't help myself. I yelled that he's wide open,
Well,
and
he
sure
was
enough, crossing route, bro, he's just screaming
came
across the
right it back
field.
across the field. Nobody was picking him up, and good thing they had a little bit of pressure in his face. Had to kind of step back, and it lofted it a little, and he was able to get there. But like if they catch that, the next play was the SC 2 point, and he
He
or they
made
had
it.
to score, but they scored the touchdown, and then he threw it right into Rice's arms. Crazy throw. I saw the back angle of it. Insane throw, and
Bro,
Rice just dropped it. But that would have been the game. It would have been game over. So
it's just so insane, though, that, like, we're witnessing these incredible throws by Caleb. And I feel like some of them kind of shocked the receiver, like, "Bro, I didn't know I was gonna get the ball." Like,
uh
realistically, they high load him, so, like, the window to throw it, and it is quite literally threading the needle.
yeah,
But you gotta remember as a receiver for SC, like, Caleb is that guy.
he'll
He's
get
a
it. He'll
dog.
he'll
He'll
find
he'll
you
get you the
somehow.
ball.
Just be ready. Just be
Yeah.
ready.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm hopeful for next week that we kinda, just bounce back real quick and just, "Okay, let's take care of business against Notre Dame,
Yep.
keep the shillelagh at the house." But, I mean, oof. It's a great game to go to because it wasn't one-sided, but man, we went through
Yeah.
all the emotions
Fun
in
fun
under
viewer
2
game. I mean,
hours.
we were in the whole time. It was a 4-hour game,
Yeah.
and we were pretty much locked in the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on buying a jersey while I was there, and I was like, "I just
You were
can't leave
just
my
yeah,
seat."
you
Like,
gotta
yeah,
watch. Like, if it would've turned into
yeah.
a blowout second quarter, you're like, "Alright, I could go get
Yeah.
a snack, or I could go do whatever," but just boom, we're locked in the whole game.
Yeah, no chance to get a soft pretzel or anything,
Nothing.
just can't have it,
No.
and that was an incredible game to go to, but absolutely crazy, and then, we had to have the burgers, and you get your bratwurst going,
Mhm.
the boys were feeling
Wasn't
good.
feeling we were feeling good going in, and
Oh, yeah.
then we were not feeling as good coming back out. That's for sure. We were a little bit like, "Okay, I'm glad that's over."
Bro, I mean, we felt like we needed to go hit the showers in the locker room. Like, bro, I just played the game too. Like,
I know.
save me a
I
stall.
was very, very much invested into that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, a win's a win. All they do is put a little W by your
W's
name,
W.
and
Didn't
that's all
lose.
it is.
Undefeated. There you go.
We went through Saturday, and then Sunday was. I mean, I think it was a great slate. I think we can kind of, get into that a little bit and just pull up, our graphic for
Yeah.
our picks that we ran through here. Um, I think should we start with like the timing of the games or the one that was like our top one, and then just kind of go through a little bit?
We could just start top left, right? I mean, it's
Okay.
what the people
Yeah.
want to know. I mean, they knew that there was money, pretty
Yeah.
much money on the line. There was skin in the game.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess the only thing I'll say is like I feel like even though the Rams lost, I think both teams are coming away feeling pretty good about
Yeah.
where they're at. Like, not a bad loss for the Rams. A little tough because got shut out in the second half, so they're gonna have to figure that out. But
Yeah.
I mean, kind of expected.
Yeah.
Like kind of. I think there was some chances for the Rams there. They would have had to really play well to win. But Eagles come out with the dub, 5-0, and I've secured a New Jersey. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. It will be arriving in 4 days, approximately.
There we
So
go. I
I
love
will
it.
say, as a Rams fan, first of all, I was a little interested to see how Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua were going to kind of integrate. And I think I've said a couple times on the podcast, just I felt like they would kind of just keep Nakua is really good at that like 10 to 15 over route versus Cooper Cup is I mean Cooper Cup's Cup, like
Run
triple
any route.
crown runner, run any route in the tree. And I was impressed to see Cooper Cup come back and get over 100 yards. I think he had 8 catches. Um,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
he
it
was
was.
doing some pretty great stuff,
Yeah,
like
he played
for
great.
what we had.
Oh yeah.
Running game was very concerning to me. I need to get that. We need to get that going a little bit.
I wouldn't be too
Um,
worried. I think the Eagles have the number one
rushing
run
defense.
defense. So I mean, it's like
Yeah, that makes
you were
sense.
gonna get what you could get there, but definitely
And
going forward, it will help the passing game and just help
oh
Stafford
yeah,
not
die.
in 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s where the pass rush is really getting after him because like he can
Yeah,
move around a little, but not to the extent of where you really
yeah.
want him
He's
to. Like you want him to be able to get quick passes out.
Yeah, or just
and
kinda
work play
step up a little bit.
action. Yeah, like yeah.
No, I will say, like, just kinda watching it, even though I did pick the Rams, I mean, I'm a realistic fan. I knew the Eagles were they had a high chance of winning that game. It was probably like a
Yeah.
90-10. I will say we were probably a Tutu Atwell long ball and a Cooper Kupp
Yeah.
long ball from making it like a
A game.
close 3-point game, like,
Yeah. Give
um
yourself a chance.
yeah,
And
and that's all I could really
I
ask
think
for.
what really killed them was the end of the half. Eagles go down and get a touchdown in 35 seconds. Like that, it would have been the Rams are leading by what, 4 maybe?
Yeah,
4?
yeah.
And gonna get the ball, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and gonna get the ball to start the second half, and Eagles go bang, bang, bang. I mean, some of it was
Push,
just like,
push right
all
in.
right, AJ Brown just one-handed catch and just move on, and then probably would have caught the touchdown, even with the
Yeah.
PI. Would have been close, but you kind of just have to do it, and then tush push. I mean, and brotherly shove. I don't know what else you.
I
It's not
mean,
much you could do.
man, we both called it, like, I think the refs at this point are letting people line up off sides, like, just to try to stop this play. I saw a clip on Instagram where Rex Ryan is showing how you're supposed to stop this play, and it's like, "Rex Ryan, bro, you don't know how to stop this.
Yeah,
You don't.
it's turned to the point
You
where
can't.
they just allow everyone to line up in the neutral zone, and they say, you know what, you guys just get
Try
it
it
on, and we'll see what happens here. It just every time I watch it, I don't know how it happens, but it's like snap, move. Like
Yeah.
every it seem it's like
There's no
collision,
stalemate, and it
and
doesn't
then
stay
it's
there.
just like a gradual Eagles win. Eagles win. Like I don't know. There's never been like a oh he got pushed back and then go for it. Like it's always boom we meet and then they just fall for it every time for 2 yards. I'm like I don't know what happens in there. I don't know if it's witchcraft, voodoo. I
Could
don't
be.
know what goes on, but I'm not mad about it.
I think it really comes down to that, like, Jason Kelsey, I think, is the greatest center to ever do a quarterback sneak. Like, if you
Yeah.
I watched the matchup, I finally got to see it once out of, like, the 4 tush pushes that were going on, but I got to see Aaron Donald versus Kelsey,
Mhm.
and that was probably closest to a stalemate I've seen in the NFL with that play, but
Mhm.
still, Kelsey gets so low,
Yeah.
and I think it's because he gets his hand back so quick when he
I'm
snaps it, so
telling
he
you, he
snaps
he
it
has
hard,
one of
gets
the
his hand,
quickest
he's
snaps
done.
in the game. He gets it even on shotgun.
Yeah.
That ball gets back there fast. And it's in a play like that, every tenth of a second matters because if he can get that ball back to get that other hand up, I mean, it's
Yeah.
huge.
No, 100%. I mean, it was a great game to watch. Like I said, I had a lot of things to be proud of my team for, a lot of things to look forward to, especially since we got the Cardinals next week, so we can kind of
Yep.
bounce back a little bit.
Should be, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, barring we troll, I think we really should take care of business there.
Yeah.
But to be in a game with the 4-0 Eagles, like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then we before
Solid
we got
showing.
Cooper Cup left, or before Cooper Cup comes back, we lose to the Niners by, I mean, realistically 10, but Sean McVay
Shout
knows.
out.
He
Shout out
knows that
Sean.
spread, bro.
We gonna
He
get that
knows.
spread. Oh, we'll
Um,
cover. We're
oh
gonna
yeah.
cover those points.
So I'm not too worried. I need Tutu to start kind of, catching the ball again. He
Yeah.
has a couple games where he gets me locked in, like, oh, you're actually got your hands back, and then we just forget him.
Yeah.
I think next, looking at the Titans Colts, I mean, we were both kind of in a toss up with this one. Titans were 0-2
Yeah.
on the road, Colts 0-2 at home. Like,
Something had to give,
yeah,
and King Henry missed a touchdown pass. Yes, you heard that right. King Henry tried to throw another touchdown pass, just missed. Probably the best quarterback on their team.
yeah,
Just missed this time. He got the touchdown pass last week, just missed this time. That was kind of the difference. Anthony Richardson probably looking like he's going to be out for like 3 to 4 weeks with a
yeah,
bad AC joint sprain. But they got Minshew. Minshew's probably one of the better backups you can have. So
yeah, 100%.
he can definitely go out and win you some games, especially in that division. But I mean, not much to say about that. It was kind of just, we kind of threw it on there just because it was like,
It was on.
yeah, it was like kind of a mid bowl.
Yeah, not a poop bowl,
But that
but
really mattered early game that kinda matters for seeding and for division winner, especially in a division like that where you have the Jags who we'll get to them, but previously were a little bit underperforming, and then you throw the Texans in there who are kinda shocking some people. It's kind of a it's a
yeah,
fun little division going on.
yeah. I mean, it was a fun watch. I mean, we did get to see an interesting play where you got, I think, a 4th and 1 in the red zone. Give it to Derrick Henry. A little questionable to give it to him from the shotgun. I feel like when you give it to him under center, you give him a chance to get ahead of steam.
Yeah,
He gets stuffed.
yeah. He
So
got
that
stuck.
was,
It was
I'm not
unfortunate.
used to seeing the king not get you that extra yard,
Did not
but
help me in fantasy, that's for sure.
man, I don't even need to talk about fantasy. Weird boy, boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Just say the team is dead.
Team might need a culture change.
I mean, we might just burn the building down. We might have to just chalk it up.
Yeah.
But
So,
going over to
yeah,
the
Colts win.
international game
Here we
for
go.
Jaguars Bills, I mean, we both had the reasonable pick. The Bills have been a wagon all year, still will be a wagon.
I did
Um,
say before, Jags are staying in London,
yeah.
and it paid off. And they got Sir Doug Peterson coaching the
Is he,
boys.
is he calling plays again?
I think he is. I would hope.
Okay, because he said he
But
wasn't for like the first 4 weeks or something.
maybe he's back in the saddle, and that's why they won. But
Yeah.
yeah, he has a very good record in London, just abroad in general. But yeah, Bills do what the Bills do. They'll look like the greatest team that's ever lived for a week, and then they'll come back and just like be like, oh, okay, that Josh Allen's kind of normal. Sounds good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't expect Travis Etienne to do what he did against that Bills defense. Um, yeah, I mean, props to the Jaguars. I got nothing else really to say about it. It was just a great
Yeah,
game by
solid
their
win.
top
We
two.
both whiffed on that one,
Yeah,
but
swing and a miss.
it's hard not to go with the Bills there.
Yeah, they're just a wagon. I mean,
Now, do we go to the Revenge Bowl?
dude, the Revenge Bowl.
Game
I
of the day,
mean,
honestly. Just a bunch of it was a troll fest back and forth, and eventually the Broncos trolled harder, as
man,
expected.
it was tough watching. Like I thought Zach Wilson had the chance to seal the game, and I see him. I don't even know if he was trying to throw the back shoulder to Garrett Wilson, but he put it inside instead of outside,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
just. I mean,
It was
I
tough,
love that
but
he got the
then
win,
but
and he
then
played
Russ
decent.
then Russ cooked. He
Oh,
cooked up a
Russ
nice little
cooked,
turnover.
just cooked it, bro. Just baked it,
Broncos are 1-4, and they have to pay Russ like 250 million, and they gave away all their picks and
Gave away Drew Lock,
gave
gave
away more
away
picks to get
everything.
a coach from the Saints. Like
You hate to see it. You really hate to see it.
it's just crazy. Nathaniel Hackett gets his revenge.
Yeah.
I think they gave him the game ball after the game. Like they knew. The boys knew that this was a big one. They wanted to kind of nice big FU to Sean Payton and the Broncos, and they got it
They
done.
delivered.
They
They
did.
delivered.
Good for them.
Shout out their defense. I think they got me like 26 points in fantasy. So
There you
hey,
go.
out of baby boys, out
Hey,
of baby.
thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. The Ski Yee crew did right.
Facts.
And then I hate to call you down for this one, man, but you fell for the old Dak experience,
I
and
did.
man,
I didn't even get to see regular season Dak. Like normally regular season Dak's okay.
you got postseason
I
Dak.
got postseason Dak today or yesterday, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was
Just
bad. Yeah, I
man,
mean, last time it's kind of a win-win for me though. Like I picked the Cowboys to win, and if they win, then that means I win my pick. If they lose, that means the Cowboys lost, and I'm happy. So it's kind of a
that,
win-win.
there you go. Yeah,
So I got to look on the bright side there, but kind of just the Niners look like a wagon. They look good.
yeah.
It's like the more this thing plays out, the more people kind of predicted it early in the year. It just seems like it's lead into an Eagles Niners NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Like that's
I
just
believe so.
even 5 weeks in. There's some other teams that look okay, like Lions maybe, or even the Seahawks or Rams or whoever.
But we know
It's
who the big
just
two are in the
it's
NFC.
probably just gonna end up being Eagles, Niners. Could be in Philly, could be in San Fran. We'll see how the number one seeds play out, but that's just kind of what it's looking like.
No, I agree. I mean, see, it was a tough pick for me too because as a Rams fan, I hate the Niners,
Yeah,
but I also hate the
smart
Cowboys.
pick. It was a
So
smart
it
pick
was
though.
like I had to pick which one I hate less,
Yeah,
essentially, and which one was kind of more realistic. And it was just as much as I hate them, I'm realistic about the fact that the 49ers are a wagon. Like
they're good.
they probably, I would say they're the best roster in football right now. Purdy is playing phenomenal.
Mhm.
I don't. I mean, he's playing phenomenal, but from what you're seeing, they're not asking him to like carry a game. You know what I mean? Like he's making plays, but he's not
Yeah,
being given the ball, being like, "Hey, we can't run the ball right now, so we need you to get us like 250 in the air." Like,
yeah, and
so he's good, but it's
it just goes back to me, like, thinking, how good are the Cowboys really?
yeah,
Like, their only wins are they beat the Jets, they beat the Giants, they beat the Patriots,
Patriots.
they lost to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Like, all those teams have 1 win.
yeah,
So, like, is the Cowboys defense really that good, or have they just been playing
terrible teams.
literally 3 of the worst offenses? Like, you could throw the Steelers in there maybe, but,
Yeah,
like, Jets, Giants, Pats, like, that's
it's about as
probably
bad
as
as it
that's
gets.
as bad as it gets, and they're like,
That's-
"Okay, cool, you just, like, boat raced them and, like, went up 21-0, and there was no chance for anyone else." Like, now you actually have to
yeah,
play a team who can, like, do things on offense, and you don't look as good.
yeah. That defense for San Fran is unbelievable.
Mhm.
That front seven. I mean, they I remember hearing when we would play them, like when we were on our championship run for the Rams, and I was seeing the press conferences come out, hey, we're going to build this team from our front seven. I was like, okay, like you've traded, DeForest Buckner out, you got Armstead, like you got all these different things. But to see it like come together is
They fly around out there for sure.
pretty scary. Fred Warner is,
No, I mean, it's the same as last year. It just is shaping up for an Eagles O-line versus Niners D-line front seven, and, like, boom,
I'd love to
roll it
see
out.
it.
Like, you could probably just fast forward to
Yeah, pretty
January. Like,
much.
let's just get there and just you don't
Just
have to
watch the
keep doing the song and
masterclass.
dance, because at least right now, nobody's really injured. Like, I wish we could just do it now,
Yeah,
because
with
like,
everybody healthy.
yeah, like, you know how a season goes, you never know, somebody gets hurt, this and that, and it's kinda like, "Dang, it would've been fun if everyone was healthy."
Yeah.
But,
And I
yeah.
think it would be perfect because the big knock on the Eagles NFC championship win last year was because Brock Purdy got hurt. It's like let's see these squads go against each other with a healthy Brock
Yeah,
Purdy.
and get his ass hurt again.
I
He's not
think I
he's
really
not careful.
hey man, he's got to move. You got to
If
know when the pressure's coming and you got to make some adjustments.
if
So,
he's not careful, he'll just get annihilated again.
oh boy.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
just looking down at our picks, we both went two wins here, 2-3. I mean, hey, what do you want from us? We're stooges. You know.
Yeah, not great out of us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But,
We won the
you know,
important ones.
yeah, we try our best.
Yeah. Give it a country,
We're not
little
here
college
giving you
try.
betting advice, okay? We're just talking shit.
No.
So,
Yeah,
don't if
definitely talking
you're
shit.
placing your bet, if anything, fade our picks. If we pick a
Yeah.
team, pick
Go
the
the
other
opposite way.
team.
Yeah,
It'll probably work out better for you.
definitely. I think we can kinda move over to our college picks now,
Yeah, let's do it.
the little stooge picks of the week.
I got
Uh,
us a little better. I
yeah,
feel a little
you
bit
did.
better about this one.
You did.
But
I
it
mean,
wasn't like we weren't going out on a limb on
no.
a couple of them.
Red River Rivalry, man, that
Yeah, we
one
did whiff.
wow.
Shout out Oklahoma, man. They came to ball. They
Yeah.
were about their business.
They
I
they might be a real team this year.
feel like
We might
Texas
have
is
been giving them
just the
shit.
Cowboys though, and not like they're just
Yeah,
always gonna
troll,
yeah, they're just never
always.
gonna go get over the hump, man. They just always lose a big game or yeah, I don't know. And Oklahoma's got an easy ass schedule too, so they could go undefeated and just make a run at this thing.
It could. I'll have to watch Oklahoma play a little bit more. I
Yeah.
mean, they played good in this game, but it's a rivalry game, so I expect you to play good.
Yeah.
Let me see how you do in this next game. You're going to come off that emotional high.
Yeah, don't troll.
Everybody's feeling good. I feel like this next game they play might be closer than people expect.
Mhm.
Um, I think the biggest upset here is UCLA beating Washington State. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, we both went with Washington State. I still think Washington State's good.
yeah,
All this enhances for me is UCLA's defense is really good. Like,
yeah, 100%.
very, very good. They held Utah to technically 7
Yeah,
because now granted Utah's offense is
not great.
not the best without Rising, but I mean, Washington State put up 38 on Oregon State, and they could only muster, what, 18 points
I
against
think it was
UCLA?
18. Yeah,
So, yeah, UCLA's good. Um, Yeah, this Pac-12, man, is just weird. You kinda have a big 3 at the top, and then it's just a
Cannibal Conference.
cluster. Yeah, it's like Washington State beat Oregon State, and Oregon State beat Utah, and Utah beat UCLA, or no, Utah beat UCLA, but then UCLA beats Washington State, and it's just a whole, like,
This one. No,
yeah, they're just like, this guy beats him, and he beat, and then they all have 1 loss. You're like, "How do you even rank these teams? Like, how do you even put them?" And you guys will see in the top 10, like, what we did to, like, kinda just rank them all at once, but yeah, UCLA, man, playing all right. Well, the freshman QB throws another pick six, so gonna have to start avoiding that.
Yeah, that's kind of essentially that's why I didn't pick UCLA. Well, one, I mean, as an SC fan, I tried never to pick UCLA, but I just don't trust that offense. Young quarterback still throwing pick sixes. Like,
Yeah,
how many games in a row can your defense bail you out of a pick
sure.
six?
Yeah,
Like,
when you gotta actually, like, when they eventually have to kinda put up points,
that's gonna be
I
tough.
don't know if how
It's gonna
many
be
points they
interesting.
have in the bag, like, if they have to play I wanna look at their schedule real quick.
Isn't that crazy to say that about a Chip Kelly team, though?
I
Like,
know, it really
wow,
is that, like, we're talking about, like, even this week, we'll probably cover this game, but they're going at Oregon State, like,
yeah, that probably would
that's
be our
gonna be a
picks.
tough game.
Yeah,
Then they do have some easy ones in there. I mean, they go to Stanford, should be pretty easy. They'll play Colorado, so we'll see how their defense handles Colorado, and then they play both Arizonas and then the big game against SC. So
I
we'll
mean,
see how they end up.
I tell you what, if there's anything I've seen, it looks like both Arizona teams are. I mean, they want to play good against California
Yeah,
teams.
I'd say
So
Arizona is a little bit ahead of Arizona
yeah,
State. I think Arizona is a scary team for some
man,
people. They're gonna upset somebody.
yeah.
Like they
Who do they
played
got coming up?
Washington tough. They played SC, obviously very tough. They're going at Washington State. They're home against Oregon State, home against UCLA. I guarantee you,
They're
in
winning
one
one
of
of those.
those 3, they're gonna get somebody. They will 100% get somebody. I don't think Washington State, because they gotta go on the road, but that home game against Oregon State or UCLA, they're gonna get one of those 2. Remember,
That's
they
a
beat
trap game for
UCLA
sure.
last year, too.
Yeah,
And
up in the
then
Rose
a
Bowl.
couple weeks after that is, home against Utah. They're gonna get somebody, maybe 2 of them. This Arizona team, they're good.
Yeah, they'll play.
Yeah, they'll give you
They'll
a
fly
game.
around. Well, just moving on down to the SEC action. I mean, we knew not to buy the hype of Kentucky.
Ever.
20th rank,
I
got the
never will.
transfer quarterback, got the this running back, this defense.
Doesn't matter.
Georgia in between the hedges. I mean, what more do
Doesn't
I
matter.
need?
Kentucky was just always gonna lose. They will always, whenever I try and put a bet on them, whenever I try and pick them, they always let me down. So this time I said, "You know what? I know they're gonna do that. So let me just steer clear." Georgia wins, and Georgia wins in a blowout.
So it's one of those situations where you've kind of learned from your film study. You're like, look, I've seen your track record, and we
Too
just
many
I
times.
can't do it again.
I
Can't do it.
can't
Won't do it.
I won't let them keep getting away with this. All right? I can't have it.
I won't have them be the reason I turn on Marvin's Room one more goddamn time.
Facts.
I won't do it.
Facts.
Man, that's good job by Georgia. They always have one game every year where we say, okay, yeah, that's Georgia.
Mhm. And it's
Um,
always against Kentucky for some reason.
yeah, they got Kentucky
I
still.
don't know, and guess what? They get to play Big Bad Vanderbilt next week. Woohoo!
Let me
Jeez.
guess, is it at home?
No, it's actually on the road. Good for them. They're traveling for once. But
Okay,
then
there
they
we
get
go.
Florida at home. Ooh. It's gonna be real scary.
They're gonna
Freaking
demolish them.
schedule is a joke.
Didn't they have in the beginning of the season? They had like a bunch of, I think it was like tornadoes or something, and they were still being told like, "Hey, we got to fly out to our first game." So like, I
I
know
don't
your
even
parents are
know.
struggling, but like,
They had
gotta,
their first 4 games were all home games.
dude,
How do you get 4 home games in a row?
they better
Their
have four
first
away games next year in a row.
They had their first 6 games, they had 5 home games.
Yeah, I don't know who's making the schedule, man.
They have 8 home games and 4 away games all year. How do you have double the home games to wait? Like, how is that allowed? I don't understand. I
Hey,
honestly do not understand how that can be allowed.
it's, that,
Crazy.
but my pay grade,
We just let
it's
them
unbelievable.
float on by every year.
Man, keeping it in the SEC action, we had Alabama, Texas A&M. You went with the great pick with Alabama. I smelled an upset, and I almost did have the upset. Couple plays go a little different, which
Uh-huh.
I mean that's in every football game. I kind of have that upset, but credit to Alabama going there. Jalen Milrose does what he's supposed to do. He still kind of almost cost a couple times. He had a screen ball that
100%.
he threw that looked like it was a fumble.
Oh, he'll
Nobody else goes
troll.
for it. So good pick for you. I just kind of wanted to shake it up a little bit,
No,
kind of
yeah, I
live
feel it.
on the
All
edge
all
of
I'm
it.
gonna say is I just have a feeling that this Bama team, if Milrow can play like that, maybe just get a little better,
They'll
I'm
find their way.
telling you they win the SEC.
Yeah, because then
They
it would
beat
be a
Georgia. Like, all
Georgia
right, you're
Alabama
playing
showdown.
Georgia. Like, maybe Georgia wins, but like,
I don't think this
I
Georgia
just
team,
don't
if
see
Alabama's
them
firing, is going to beat them.
losing. Like, I'm looking at the schedule.
Hmm.
Home against Arkansas, home against Tennessee,
I mean,
home against LSU. LSU stinks. I don't care what
LSU's
anybody
bad.
says.
I'm up
At
on Bible.
Kentucky, who's somehow still ranked. I don't know how you can still be ranked. Then home against Chattanooga at Auburn. Like, I just don't really see
Yeah, I don't see a
at
team
Auburn
beating.
will always be tough
Yeah,
just 'cause, but, like, I really do see them going 11-1, and they're in the SEC championship game, and if they win, they're in. And you're like, "How did they do it? How'd they do this again?" And it's
clockwork.
just Saban, man. He just finds a way.
I could see that definitely happening. I mean, shoot, it's the Alabama Invitational for a reason. You
Yeah.
just get an invite to go.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
They'll always get in.
oh yeah, Nick Saban always finds a way. Old
I
Saint Nick will not be denied.
I think I'm gonna go to the next game just 'cause I'm
Hmm.
very excited to talk about I did call it. I
You did.
told everybody, Maryland, take Maryland in the points at half. It was a tie game at half, and then, like I said, Ohio State will run away in the second half like clockwork. Maryland gave it a good run, but they just don't have the firepower or the depth. Like, they don't
Yeah,
have enough depth. Like, Ohio State can roll in another batch of 4-star, 5-star guys.
yeah,
Maryland can't. They got their 22 guys that are pretty good who can kinda play with you, and then that's it.
yeah. And credit to Tua's younger brother. I mean, the kid is really
He was
good,
trying,
but
yeah.
man, when you
He's
play
trying to make
against
some
these top
plays.
teams, like you got to have, like you said, more than 22 deep. Like you
Yeah.
got to be able to kind of rotate people in, keep them fresh. No shocker there. Ohio State takes care of business in the horseshoe. I think
Uh-huh.
if there was ever a time Maryland was going to upset Ohio State, it was last year at Maryland,
At home,
and
yeah.
they had the chance, but they just
They had a couple
sold it.
shots at it.
So maybe next year when it's in Maryland, maybe we'll talk about this game again, and I'll kind of feel like
Yeah.
they'll pull the upset off. But I think probably
Yeah.
Tua's younger brother's going to go to the draft.
Yeah, I don't know if
Um,
Maryland will just ever beat Ohio State, honestly. It's just gonna be tough sledding.
I don't know if I'll ever see. I know Maryland for having these sick uniforms with like hand painted helmets and the white and silver combos, not beating Ohio State.
No, not a chance.
Well, I think that's probably just a great segue to
Yeah,
kind of
let me
jump
we'll
into
go
our
right into the top
top
10.
10.
I'll pull it up without further ado. Bang. Um, so I guess we can start at the bottom. Um, Bama, honorable mention.
Yeah,
I still don't think they're worthy of a top 10. They physically, logistically, metaphorically, spiritually cannot be any higher than Texas. 'Cause
yeah,
Texas beat them. They got the same wins and losses. Texas beat them. So at the most, they could be 9
yeah,
at the most, and I don't think they're better than Oregon. I
no,
could argue Florida State maybe,
yeah.
um, just 'cause
There's definitely an argument.
we're definitely very out on Florida State. Kinda just kept them in there just 'cause I didn't feel like it almost
They're
just
still
felt like
undefeated.
and it just felt maybe a little too early for Louisville. Like, great win over
Yeah,
Notre Dame, but maybe the next week. Like, if they then
gotcha.
go and stomp somebody else, it's like, okay, and Florida State struggles again with somebody, like, alright, I can see it. Yeah, you go to Louisville, huge win over Notre Dame, massive win. Um, Pretty much kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah, ran the ball down their throat for sure.
Yeah, which was pretty crazy. And I saw a video, which I thought this was pretty interesting. I'm gonna pull up just so I can look at it here. The
Mhm.
ACC standings. Okay. Yeah, so since they got rid of there's no Coastal and I forget what the other conference or the other, like,
Uh,
division was called.
Coastal and Atlantic.
Yeah, there you go. Which is funny because, like, the Atlantic is that coast, and
Yeah.
then
The
like
Coastal.
like, okay, freaking idiots, we couldn't have found anything else. So Louisville doesn't play Florida State or, North Carolina this year. Florida State doesn't play Louisville or North Carolina, and obviously North Carolina doesn't play either of those 2. So, very unlikely, but there is a world where all 3 of those teams go undefeated, and just due to tiebreakers, there's an undefeated ACC team that doesn't even make the ACC championship game because they all never play each other. They could all go undefeated. Obviously, it won't happen. Like, somebody's gonna lose in there. They'll
Yeah.
probably all lose once, like, Louisville's gonna play Duke, Miami, Kentucky. They'll probably drop 1. Florida State, they're just begging to drop a game.
Yeah.
Um, and then North Carolina has they're gonna play Miami next, and they'll play Duke. But all of them have relatively easy-ish schedules, so like there
Mhm.
is a world. But I just thought that was pretty crazy that there could be an undefeated ACC team that doesn't even make their conference championship just due to how the schedules were.
No, and that I didn't even follow that from the off season, but I'm just looking at the Florida State schedule because I'm with you. I'm out on Florida State. I really think they're gonna drop a game here soon. Um, I mean, they got Syracuse at home next week, which I mean,
Should be a win.
it should be, but I feel like it's gonna be a close win, like a
That Duke
21-17
game should be tough.
if Riley's
And
back.
then at Wake Forest, at Pitt, you just never know. You'll play Miami, at Florida. Like, they're gonna lose to somebody.
Yeah,
I just
it could
think that,
be.
like, their win now over LSU just doesn't look good at all. LSU is not very good. Their defense is horrible.
Yeah,
That win at Clemson doesn't even like, Clemson just struggled with wasn't it Wake Forest?
yeah, I think so. Let me check it.
I think they just played yeah, 17 to
Yep.
12 at home against Wake Forest. Like, that's a crappy win. Like, they don't look good either. Then almost lose to
Yeah,
Boston College, who is barely beating, like, Army. Like,
yeah,
they're not good, okay? I don't care what anybody says. They're not very good. And that before everyone is like, "Well, USC is just barely lost." This is the first time. Even the Colorado game wasn't really that close. It was 41 to 14 at one point, and it got, like, kinda fake
holy shit.
close late. Like, all right, you score and then onside kick, that type of close. All the other games have been pretty much blowouts. Arizona State was a weird game, but not necessarily one. Like, before the game yesterday or on Saturday, USC was the only team in the country who hasn't trailed at any point throughout the year.
That's the last
So
time.
that's why. Florida State, on the other hand, has had multiple close games against teams that are not good.
Yeah,
And now even their quote unquote good win, who people were saying was a great win, LSU's nothing really.
yeah,
They're a two-loss team that probably shouldn't even be ranked.
yeah.
So that's why
I
we
agree.
have them at 10. But I'll just jump back to the other 4 pack teams just because I wanted to put all of them in there. And when I say the 4, it's Oregon State, Utah, UCLA, Washington State. Like, they all have one loss. Oregon State beat Utah, Utah beat UCLA, UCLA beat Washington State, Washington State beat Oregon State. So it's just a mess.
Yeah,
So just we put them all in there. It'll sort itself out eventually. One of them will come out still with 1 loss, another one will come out with 3 losses, and then you just move on. They're just not in the same caliber as the top 3 of the Pac-12.
yeah,
But I just figured they should all get at least a mention.
yeah. No, 100%. You throw them in the blender, see
Yeah.
which one comes out with the one loss, and
Mhm.
move on. We actually had a pretty interesting discussion about Louisville. I was kind of on the same train. I thought they deserved over Florida State, but I mean, Florida State is still undefeated, so
Yeah.
until they prove us right and
It's tough
drop a
to
game,
really
they gotta stay up
drop a
there.
team that far when they're
Yeah.
still undefeated. Like, you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Same thing with SC.
Mhm.
Like, they're gonna drop, obviously, but, like, end of the day, you still win, so it's kinda hard for me to drop you
Yeah.
behind a team that has lost. That was
100%.
my thing with, like, Florida State's like, am I really gonna then put Bama over them or all these Pac-12 teams? Now, I feel like if Florida State played that little group of 4 Pac teams, they
I
go
think they might come out 2-2.
2 and 2 maybe, like, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida State drops, um, couple I think they were 8. Yeah, and they dropped 2 because
Mhm.
Oregon stayed the same, and then obviously big jump up for Oklahoma, and then Texas, big fall off, but yeah, Oregon didn't play, so they just chill. We're
Yeah.
we're gonna have a huge game this weekend coming up, Oregon against Washington. It's gonna be
Right.
massive, probably the biggest game of the year. I would say this game is bigger than I mean, not bigger than Red River just because that's like a big but, like, just I think these 2 teams are better than Texas and Oklahoma, like, if you just do a combined rating or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be wild.
No, I agree. I'm looking forward to it, especially seeing the Pac-12 kind of show out a little bit. Like, so
Mhm.
a lot of people on the East Coast, I don't think I've seen Washington or Oregon because most of their games, at least for
Yeah,
Washington, are kind of later in the day.
you're gonna see now.
Um, yeah, Penix, he can sling that rock, man.
I
That
almost
guy.
want I hope that they, like we've gotten some stick for having Washington at 1 for a while now. They haven't really done anything for me to justify moving them down, and other teams haven't really done anything to jump them. This is the week. Either we're gonna, like, look like stooges,
Yeah,
saying, "Oh,
or
yeah, of course they were never that good," or they're
we'll
gonna
be them.
beat Oregon, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, like, this team's real." And
Yeah,
they won't move from number 1 for the next couple weeks unless they get upset by somebody.
but we won't hear in our mentions, "Hey, you were right." That will never
Never.
happen.
They'll
So
say, "Wow,
we're either yeah,
you guys were right about Washington. They are pretty good now." You're gonna be like, "Of course, Washington
yeah,
was shit the whole
yeah,
time."
yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll move up to Texas. Tough loss, so of course they gotta be lower than Oklahoma, who's now undefeated. I dabbled with keeping them ahead of SC. I also dabbled with putting them under Oregon, but I think Oregon didn't play anybody, so, like, it would be hard for me like, we had Texas at 2. Be hard for me to drop a team more than 6 spots when they play a tough rivalry game, so I felt like 8 was kinda fair with
Yeah,
the thought of, okay, if Oregon wins, they're obviously gonna go ahead of Texas anyway, so it's kinda gonna sort itself out
yeah.
in a week. If they played, feel like Texas neutral field could beat Oregon. It's close. It's a 50-50. Their D-line is still very good. They we just haven't seen Oregon really in a battle. They still I mean, that game against Texas Tech still kinda
Yeah, that still sits in
it
the
still
back of your
freaks
head.
me out a little bit for some reason. They did smack Colorado, but
See,
yeah, it's very tight for me from, like for now, after the games this weekend, from 6 to, like, 12. Oklahoma
yeah,
and down. I think Penn State and up are all the teams who have consistently
showed
handled
out.
business, like, Georgia a little less so, but they kinda just by default are kinda climbing with the way the other teams are kinda dropping.
Yeah.
But especially, like, Ohio State's still a good win. Doesn't look as good now, we'll get to that, but, like, from 6 down, I feel like, obviously, Texas is gonna always have to be under Oklahoma, but if you wanted to put USC at 9 and Oregon at 7 and Texas at 10 and, Bama at 10 or
I can see the
Louisville
argument.
like, I'm not really gonna, like I wouldn't argue too much with anybody. Like, I've seen some people say SC should be, like, 16th. I'm like, "Okay, like, alright, chill
Relax,
out
okay?
a
Like,
little bit, alright?" Like, that's
take a second.
so you're gonna just rank them lower than other Pac-12 teams that have 1 loss. Cool
Yeah.
story, bro, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
it kinda comes down to that factor, and I thought it was over after the BCS era of, like, they used to call it style points where you had to win by a ton, but that was because you had to help, like, fight with the algorithm. It had to be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
you have, like, 120 points
Yeah,
to
you
you,
beat
so
this team
therefore"
by
Yeah,
this much, so it matters. Yeah, now it shouldn't
but it still
matter,
plays a
but it kinda
difference.
does to the casuals out there. Like, "Well, alright,
Yep,
tough win," like and it'll affect rankings, but, like,
not that
it
much, like,
shouldn't as much.
relax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I mean, we dropped what we had USC at 4
we had
last week?
USC at 4 and they're down to 7.
Yeah, I mean,
So, in the actual
dropped them.
AP, they went from 9 to 10, but the
I
week
saw that.
before that, after the Colorado game, they went from 5
5 to, like,
to 8 or 5
8?
to 9. They dropped,
It was
like,
5 to
4
8.
spots after winning a game where they were leading 41 to 14. And I was like, "Geez, alright, people are just hating." Like, they're at a lower rank right now when they were undefeated. Like, when they I'm gonna find this. When they lost last year to Utah, I'm gonna find it.
You're talking the first time or the second time?
I'm talking the first time.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to their schedule. So going into that Utah game, they were ranked. Find it. Let's find it. They were ranked number 7. No, maybe that was the week before. Hold on. They were ranked number 6.
Mhm.
No, they were ranked 7. They were ranked 7. And then they dropped. After a loss, they dropped to 10. They're at 10 right now, and they're undefeated. So I feel like people
Yeah.
are like going a little too overboard. Like they lost a tough game to Utah last year. Utah went for 2. Caleb didn't really get a chance to equalize. They only dropped to 10 versus they're winning games, still undefeated, and they're dropping to 10. They're treating it as if they're losing. So it's a little interesting to me. Kind of just, I think that's due to, again, people
East
living
Coast
in
bias.
that and people living in last year.
Yeah.
Like they saw what USC was last year. So now they're seeing kind of the same stuff. So they're like, okay, we just have to drop them. When you kinda just have to look, you can't look at what was happening last year, you have to just look at this year and, like, you're gonna drop them the same amount as when they were losing. Like, I don't know, it just seems weird to me.
No, I agree with it. Yeah, I think it's a little interesting. Again, like we just said, like, you're winning your games, but you're still dropping. It's like, I mean, that's a little odd to me.
Yeah, but, well, we can talk a little bit about SC. This is kinda when
Mhm.
they got everything ahead of them.
Oh,
At
boy.
Notre Dame, home against Utah, at Cal, which is still a sneaky tough game, home against Washington, at Oregon, home against UCLA. I mean,
It's a gauntlet.
realistically, you get through Cal and you're still undefeated, which means you went and beat Notre Dame. They're going to be very fired up. They just had a tough loss to Louisville, so they're going to give you a game. Utah's always a tough one. We'll see if Rising is playing. I don't even know what's up with that. At Cal is just like a trap game, I feel like, before the Washington game. But even when you get to the last 3 games, if you can come out of there 2-1 against Washington, Oregon, UCLA, that means you're in the Pac-12 championship game, and if you win the Pac-12 championship with 1 loss, more than likely you're in the playoff. Same story from last year.
Yeah,
So
same
if you
story.
can end 5-1, you're good. Now if you drop 2, you're probably dead, at least for the playoff. You can drop 2 and maybe
Get the
still
Cotton Bowl.
be, but you could even drop 2 and maybe you're still in the conference championship game. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
how it'll work out. Everyone's losing to everybody. You could still get in there. But if you want the playoff, last 6 games, you gotta go
5 and 1.
5-1, and then you gotta win the conference championship, and then you'll probably get in. So, yeah,
There you
we'll
have it.
see. We'll
There's a
see.
blueprint.
There you go. We'll go to Oklahoma. Huge win. We kinda talked about it already, though, but they jumped from it was good on us to put them in the honorable mentions last week just because we knew it was a big game, so now it makes us look like, "Oh, okay, we thought they were pretty good."
We used a little bit of
So
this,
they
you
just
know?
fly up to 6. Obviously, they gotta be ranked ahead of Texas.
Yeah.
Big win. I couldn't really justify myself putting them ahead of these other 5 teams just because kinda just one big rivalry win, and the rest of their games have kinda just been playing either horrible teams or just kinda, like, not looking great. But they have a very favorable schedule, so they can just fly up the board if they just keep winning.
Yeah.
Um, Penn State stays the same, they didn't play. Kinda unlucky for them that these other teams jumped them, but I think that's more to do with finally Georgia annihilated somebody how they were supposed to, um, which was good. Now Penn State and Ohio State games coming up in not this week, I think next week, so that can
Yeah.
shake itself out. Um, I still think I could maybe now 1 through Washington's my 1 until they lose, but 2, 3, 4, and 5, I wouldn't be mad if you put them in any order. I would say Michigan kinda has to be ahead of Georgia. I feel like they've just handled business more often. So I would say out of 2 through 5, Michigan's the best one, but if you put Penn State at 3, I wouldn't be mad. Um,
Well, I think that question's gonna get answered in 2 weeks.
yeah. Is
So
that
Penn
Ohio
State's gonna
State, Penn
play
State?
Ohio State.
Yeah, and we'll know. And
It's
that
at
Ohio
Ohio State.
State win over Notre Dame's looking a little less and less glamorous, um, which is why Michigan jumps them. Even though they don't have a signature win, they've kinda just battered they've had some slow first halves, but they've gotten after pretty much everybody they've played against, and Ohio State kinda just, um I don't know, were they 3? Maybe I put the green arrow by mistake. I don't know if they were 4. No, I think they were 3 last week, so I think they stayed the same. Ignore the green arrow there. I'm pretty sure that they were 3 because SC was 4 and
Yeah.
Texas was 2. Um,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
they yeah, they move
Oh,
ahead of Texas, I guess, but that's just Texas drops, but Michigan up to 2, and then
well,
we've
number 1
talked a lot
stays the
about
same.
Washington. This is the week. If they win, they stay. If they lose, like, what are the next few big games for a
Well, we actually get the question that we
Michigan?
want answered with Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State because
They're all
Penn
playing each
State,
other.
yeah, plays
Yeah,
Ohio State in 2 weeks, and then in November they play Michigan. So
yeah,
it'll get answered,
it'll happen.
sort itself out.
Yeah, when does Michigan? Yeah, Michigan. They won't. We won't know what Michigan is until November 11th at Penn State, big noon kickoff. Then we'll know. But until
Yeah,
then, unless someone else is losing, I just can't justify myself putting them at 1.
no, I haven't
Especially
seen enough from them.
if Washington beats Oregon, Washington's at 1 until they lose. Michigan can't. There's nothing they can do until November 11th that would, in my mind, put them ahead of Washington for me if Washington wins this game against Oregon
Yeah,
and continues to win until the 11th. Now, Washington's schedule, obviously, just because they're in the Pac-12, is going to get crazy too. Not as crazy, actually. So they play Oregon, then they get a ASU and a Stanford,
mhm,
which is not too bad. Then on the 4th, this will be the big game. They're at USC. So the week before Michigan takes on Penn State, Washington could then drop. But at that point, if SC's undefeated, they might be up there. So
find
like
their way back.
that's why it's just hard for me to like. I know a lot of people that say, "Yeah, Michigan should be higher," and it's like you're just those people are projecting, which I don't mind. But it's like as of now, they've
Washington's been
annihilated.
the best team.
They've annihilated shitty teams.
Congratulations. You know,
They've second half annihilated shitty teams. Like first half, like they were losing to Bowling Green at one point, or it was 7-6 or whatever it was. Like
yeah,
it was kind of a weirdly close game, like 24-10 at half against Minnesota. So just like kind of like and then they just pull away.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I think Washington has shown they're the best team in football right now. They're gonna have to prove it against Oregon. If they beat Oregon, they're staying.
They're staying.
Simple as that.
No doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
Won't convince me otherwise.
never. Don't even try. It's not worth your time. Well, I think it's time to move into some funny stuff on
Yeah, let's
Twitter
see.
and
Let's see what was happening. There were some
and
things. There were some
Twitter.
things happening this weekend. I'll tell you.
Twitter always just brings up some good things. I'll tell you that. Good, bad. I mean, it's just pretty funny. Tyreek Hill got fined $7,000 for wearing no socks against the Broncos last week.
For wearing no socks,
No socks.
you have to wear socks.
If you want to keep 7K.
Making socks mandatory. What are we doing?
Now the big question is, if you go commando, do you get fined as
I
well?
guess because you have to wear. Do you have to wear like the team? It's probably team uniform is socks, right?
I mean, he didn't wear socks at all.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's why he got fined. Because it's probably he wasn't wearing the team uniform, and socks are probably included. It's like when you used to play, like youth soccer.
Mhm.
If you weren't wearing a socks, like that's a part of the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
team
yeah, yeah.
uniform technically, so you have to have the same socks as everyone. That's probably why. But the NFL is just they just make it difficult on you for no reason.
Thankfully, if that happened in youth soccer, all we got was we didn't get a juice box or like our bag
Yeah,
of
you don't
oranges.
get your oranges and some chips or
Not a
whatever you
7K
want.
fine.
Yeah,
That is,
thankfully.
oof, yeah, I would not be playing, but can't do it. Next, I mean, this one's pretty, pretty standard prank. You get your
Oh,
teacher,
I saw this.
you
This
get
is great.
get the get the cat going on, and
I mean, she should
that's
see it
about it.
coming though.
Yeah, yeah, she
Like, it's not a very well
No, I
structured
mean,
drawing of a cat,
yeah, we could see right here. There's more of a phallic setup here. Like this cat's
right?
body build is not.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
It's not really looking
She
like. I
wouldn't have
mean,
got. They wouldn't have got that one past me. I'll tell you.
yeah, what cat? Like what face is looking? And then just, and then of course you just
Looks
got
insane.
you got to watch the play draw out. Like okay, she knows it. She's getting out of the way, and then
And there
it's
is a
just
penis. Thank
there we
you.
go. Thank you. She's so pissed.
Fish just trying to stare down somebody. Gotta
Let me
love it.
see if I could just this.
Just stare down at the class. Like, which one of you?
What are you sons of bitches?
Who did it? Who
Yeah.
was it?
You always
Gosh.
gotta love students. Just having a good time, just
Just
being
loving
grab
it.
ass in class.
Trying to have some fun where they can.
Yeah. And then I thought it was pretty cool that the Commanders paid tribute to the Bears by, holding up a little
Mm-hmm.
Dick Butkus graphic. It's sad to see
Thank
the
you, Dick.
legend go. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Dick. Miss you, Dick.
Love you,
My
Dick.
grandpa actually coached him. When he
Really?
was coaching with the Bears. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it
He
would have
say he
been in the
was
'60s.
Yeah, did he say he
Yeah.
was like a son of a bitch or something? Just a real
I never had much dialogue with my with my grandpa there, so I wish. But that guy, I know that he was a freak. That's what I know. Dick Butkus. That guy was flying around just murdering people on the field.
Yeah, that's the highlights I've seen of him. He's just an absolute unit. So
Thank you, Dick.
thank you, Dick. Next one out of this. I mean, I'm not sure how I felt about it, but
Damn.
this woman just farted so loud in the bathroom, I could just feel she was embarrassed. So I farted back just to make her not
Oh
feel
my
so
gosh.
alone.
Are you kidding me? No, honestly, sometimes like when you be in a bathroom or like just any public bathroom,
Yeah,
and you just hear somebody just like
giving it the business.
just rip it. Oh my gosh, my screen went black for a second. I'm back. Just absolutely just rip it,
Yeah.
and you're just sitting there like he probably thinks that I'm judging him, but brother, I am not judging you. Like I know it just be like that sometimes. Like you're trying to get it out. I get it.
Bro, the best ones though are if you're at an airport like traveling, and you can tell like when people are traveling for business because they got the suit and all that.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's like what they eat at the Sky Lounge or something, or what they eat on the plane, bro. But at least when I went to Denver Airport and then like 2 weeks ago, bro, just people were playing the butt trumpet like crazy. And
Oh,
and you can't like not laugh because it's just
yeah.
so much going on. Like we got a symphony going on.
Facts.
And this guy will walk out of the stall, try to tuck his shirt back in,
Like
put the
brother,
tie
I
back on,
already
like,
saw it. It's okay, man. Like I
yeah.
know. I
We
already know. It's gonna
Yeah.
be all right.
But I
Everything's gonna
think
be okay.
I think it's more rude not to laugh. Like he's already given you this little piece of comedy. Like,
Yeah.
have a little chuckle.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt you.
Why not?
I don't know about farting to communicate with her, like
I would
Dory
just
in
give a little
Finding
bang on the
Nemo.
thing. Just be like, all right, buddy. I'm with you.
I mean,
I'll always be with you.
yeah, with the spirit and sound, I'm there.
Facts.
That one just like I said, Twitter has something for me every time I go through it, and never
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 ceases to
disappoints. I
amaze.
mean, yeah. I would like to figure out how to like go into posts and go back and not have to scroll through all the way, but that's my
Might
own
just have to pull them
skills.
all up as their own tab, maybe. I don't know.
I might kill my computer, but it might be worth
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
journey.
The computer might not make it.
This is perfect. Just heard a British person call Oreos chocolate sandwich biscuits, and I finally understood why
Yeah.
the
I
Revolutionary
mean,
War had to happen.
what these guys eat for meals. Good thing that they have like immigrants because boy. And to anybody out there that says, "Well, what's like American food?" Don't listen to the people that say, "Well, we have burgers and whatever." Like that's not American food. Barbecue,
Wide,
BBQ, brisket,
wide,
ribs,
wide,
pork,
wide.
uh
Tri tip.
Yeah, tri-tip, fillet, like that type of stuff. Like really going to get barbecue, bro, with some cornbread, with some like with
And an
some
ice
green.
cold
You get
beer in your
some,
hand.
yeah, you get some greens, you get some, or you go to the dang seafood bar. I know that's a little bit more like Louisiana, so that can be almost French Quarter to an extent, but
Yeah,
like
that little boil where they got just everything on the
that's
table. Yeah.
that when someone says, "Well, what food does the U.S. have?" One, we got all the foods, okay?
We took it all.
But go to another country and see if they have straight Texas barbecue, because I tell you they don't. Or Kansas City barbecue. They
Yeah.
don't got it.
Yeah.
They don't, and
Or
they never
KFC.
will.
They don't.
You can't go to the UK and find that. You're gonna find beans on toast and Nando's. Nobody wants that, man.
I don't want
I want pulled
Nando's.
pork.
I
I want
want
a
it now.
pulled pork sandwich.
Get me
So show
hungry right
some
now. Can't
respect.
do that.
Show some respect to the US, all right? And we got the best, you know, out of any other country. We got the best Mexican food too, right
Facts.
here in California. I'm sure San
Facts.
Diego's pretty good, and Tex-Mex is pretty, or San Diego and then Miami's good. Tex-Mex is pretty good too, but
I don't think I've had Tex-Mex. I will see. The hard part for me is the best like Mexican food I've eaten in California. There are a lot of places in LA that I don't know the name of. They're completely in Spanish, and I apologize. I went there with my
mhm.
friends, ordered some great food. I don't speak Spanish. Sorry about it.
And some of the best tacos you
But
just find on the street.
yeah.
Like we drove by one on the way home.
Oh yeah, and we were
Line
kind of
around the
tempted.
block.
Oh,
Line around the block, and I know they're cooking up over there, man, and it's probably so good.
I would tell you though, man, we got to try out some Sanchos over in Claremont. Like
Okay. So that's
just
prime.
pristine.
Okay. All right.
Nice little margarita. It's like the size of the goblet of fire. Like
Ooh,
you're just feeling good.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, a little bit. Just
All right.
beautiful things. I don't even know if I want to pull this one up. I just thought it was funny, the NFL
Yeah,
making
just
everyone watch Bears versus Commanders,
watching
and
DJ
it's
Moore masterclass for some reason. I don't know where he pulled that out. It's the spirit of Dick Butkus was just in the stadium, man.
yeah. And Justin Fields played great. Hopefully he can do it again this next week. Otherwise,
Yeah.
just same old Bears and
Same old Bears.
Bears. That was just too funny. I'd love to play the video, but I'm kind of worried if I play the sound, I'll get a copyright again. So I don't
We're
really
good.
want to do
Everybody
that.
gets the point. We've all seen the SpongeBob clip.
Yeah. If you don't, he just yells, "Look at it! Look at the ugly!" There we go. I mean, this is where you need to know your strengths and weaknesses. Now,
I
this
saw the
setup right
first 2
here.
seconds of this, and then I just scrolled by it because I just didn't want to see somebody like tear their ACL or something trying to carry. But I'm assuming I'm gonna see something bad here.
Well, I mean, let's just line up the setup here. First of all, I at first I thought this was a weight set in the back here. I thought that was like a little like makeshift COVID
Oh,
weight
what is
set
that?
where they
Just
got like the little
the
planks. I think that's a little skimmer,
just a
and you got
little,
stuff on
yeah,
the
yeah,
top,
yeah.
and you just kind of. So we got that. Looking at the people here, I don't think this furniture is up to par. This
No,
little Walmart set up for about I think
and
$49.99.
and the concrete's very wet,
That too, but we
looking
could
real
see
slick and slippery.
this concerned gentleman here. I believe you can kind of see throughout the video.
What are we
He's kind
drinking?
of piecing
Got
these
some
things together.
strawberries.
Strawberritas.
Not bad. I can't lie.
Don't
I'll
sound
kill
bad.
a couple of those. Well, you know it's
Hey,
bad when you know it's bad when someone's filming. Like
yeah,
someone
of
took the
course.
time to say, "Okay,
Let me put my
this
strawberry Rita down,
this
and
isn't
like
gonna
let
go
me.
well. I gotta film this." So already red flag because you know you shouldn't be doing this if someone's gonna film you
Yeah.
do it.
And
Yeah.
then we could see, you got a little kid here, but I mean, the face is already just dark red.
Ugh,
We're
yeah.
supposed to, I
Oh boy.
believe. I mean,
I mean that's probably what on his back 250.
he just, and then we just, oh,
I mean, how much is that on his back? About 250.
at least 250.
But he looks
And
like a big guy. I think it was less about the way he went about this the wrong way. You cannot sidestep it onto the thing. You have to go from behind and you have to do a step up on that way.
yeah,
You got to be moving forward. You can't sidestep with weight like that because you got to treat this like you're at the gym and you put
oh yeah, we
at
got all
least
that weight on this
at
one
least
foot.
2 plates on each side. You're not doing side lunges, okay? You might do a box step up or something, but even that,
That
man,
was- How is this guy just helping? Just
He's doing nothing.
come on, let me just.
But look, good thing he didn't fall on the kid.
Yeah, I thought the kid was gonna get murked
Kid
out
would
here.
have died.
I mean, yeah, there's just too much weight on this one foot, and I thought at first this was Tim the Tap Man. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh man, you
but
imagine?
I mean, he is just because I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, like we look like a strong guy, like we can kind of make this work, but we just
Yeah,
want to have a technique.
I think
Just
he is strong too. I'm not even gonna like discredit his strength. She's fat, so that doesn't
no,
help.
it doesn't
And
help at
then we
all.
got slick ground, and that is a deceptively high, like, I mean, he's in at minimum a quarter squat.
Yeah, look at the
Out
ankle
of
right here
balance
though.
because
That's like right on the toe.
yeah, because he's only on one foot really. She's moving around. Like this is a you could get strongmen, like the actual strongman competition guys. They would struggle with this. If this was a
An event.
skill, an event, yeah,
Yeah.
they would struggle because this is a lot. So
And we're also not factoring in how many strawberry Ritas did he have before this?
facts.
That's
Yeah,
it's a big thing. But
100%.
I mean, little Junior here was
He's
almost
looking like, I don't know about this, guys.
he almost got himself murked, and it's just right here. I mean, she knows it. He knows. Oh shit! I mean, this is gone. She realizes it. I don't. He
No one can
realizes
do
he can't
anything
do
because what are you
shit.
gonna do? Catch her?
The kid actually
Well,
goes to
Timmy's
hug him.
getting, yeah, trying to maneuver here.
Little Timmy
Kid
gets
goes
taken out
down.
too.
Down goes the kid. She hits back full of
Oh,
curb.
wait! I didn't even realize this guy's still holding a beer.
Oh yeah, he was not.
So
He was never gonna relinquish that.
I kind of have a little more respect now
Yeah,
because
I
I
mean,
look back.
because he's like, she's going down anyway. I can't one hand. Even with two
Yeah,
hands, I'm not gonna be able to help this.
yeah. So we do have a beverage this whole time because I just saw one hand go up. I'm like, what are we doing with the other
I
hand up?
think this
We're
is the
pulling
moral of
ice
the
cream.
story, man. Lose some weight if you want
Yeah,
to try
there
tricks
you go.
like this in front of your kids at the little pool party. Okay, lose
Yeah,
a couple. Don't force your man to do that. Look at you're covering his eye. Like you're making this so difficult for him.
yeah. And what's he supposed to say? Like, how does he win this situation? He says, "No, babe, like I can't carry you." And
And
then,
what's
oh,
the
what do I
goal
weigh
of
too
this?
much? And
Like
it's
you're just
just,
gonna like both jump in the pool at the same time? You're gonna throw her off? Like
I
where's
don't
the
know.
fun, man? Just get drunk and just jump in on your own or jump off the roof or something. Don't make this man almost tear his ACL trying to carry you around. Fat
Yeah.
slob.
I agree, man. I mean, if you're gonna do tricks like this, make sure we've put in the work to be ready for that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be some training on both ends here. Okay, it can't
Yeah.
just be a
Help
one-way
me help
street.
you. You wanna
Yeah.
have fun? Okay, lose a couple.
Otherwise,
Hey. Bang.
you're just you're just done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Big Cat. Appreciate it. Next, just watching. I mean, I don't even understand how these trick shots work from MW2 and on.
Mhm.
I've never tried one, so I don't get it. But I mean,
Fuck, I apologize. Oh, I hit.
Full
let me just
screen that for me?
'cause
Yeah, I never really understood how people hit like I'm pretty sure they just get to 74 and there's one kill left and they literally
just keep
just
going
do
for
this
like
for
50
hours.
runs.
I don't know
Because
how long it
you can't
it
tell me
takes,
this is
but
a skill to just what are you what are you looking at? What
nothing. I don't know how much luck it is. They have to have some idea of where he is
he's got to be
and
standing
how
there the
many
whole time,
turns are.
right?
Oh no, the guy is standing. Like the guy
Hmm.
that they're trying to trick shot is not moving.
Yeah, okay. Because like if this is an actual like in game, like it's
Yeah,
not.
they haven't. They put him on the corner. Say, hey, just stand on the corner and we'll see who can hit it. Which is like,
Gosh,
all right, it's
okay, yeah, yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Like I never really got like much. I never really cared for this that much. I would prefer to watch like Scum drop like 50 kills.
Yeah,
Like, oh, that
I'm with
looks like
you.
fun.
This was just too funny from the USC game.
Man,
I got to keep the volume off because I think this one might be trademarked, so I gotta careful with
seeing
this.
this was
We saw it live, ladies and gentlemen.
we
Like
watched
we
it
were at
live
the
and I
stadium
was like,
watching
I
this live.
thought he hit it, but then obviously the USC guy kicks it. But they said, you know what? You're gonna stand this close. We're gonna get you, bro.
Look at three guys pick him up. No, you're touching the goddamn ball.
And I don't know, like,
12 comes off the sidelines.
I
I
don't know
didn't
if
even
you
realize
can
this.
do that. Like, I don't know. What are
Look
the
at this.
rules?
Boom. You cannot do that. You
Like, I don't know what the
don't
rules
want to do
are behind. Like, can I just hold? Like, it's got to be holding of some sort.
I think it's illegal touching on the defense. Like
I don't know if it's illegal. It's just like the ball's down there because it was a punt. So I think he just touched
What
it
was the
anyway. But
thought
like,
process? Like, here's 3 This guy doesn't even know what the game plan is. He's
wait,
confused.
what are we doing? Am I supposed to help?
And then, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if that doesn't show you how trolly of a game it was, man.
There was a lot going on.
And then rolling down, Khabib is now training with Islam. All I'm gonna say is if
Yeah, GG.
Khabib is training with you, you are gonna
Yeah.
be the greatest grappler.
Islam by submission. That's all I'll say about that.
This one, I mean, I hope I don't get.
Yeah, it'll be good. You can play it.
Let me just restart it.
Several times I've been on my knees plenty in this profession.
Oh.
And I've always been able to.
They're just trying to keep it in. I've been on my knees plenty. Like, okay, coach.
Okay, I can make it larger screen. Just right here. Just.
I mean, his boy next to him laughs too.
Right.
His boy starts smiling too. Everybody's smiling.
Just they know, like
They knew exactly what was happening.
Shout out Oklahoma. Give me a funny
Shout
clip.
out Brent Venables.
Man.
Thank you,
Glad
Brent.
you're not on your knees anymore, you know? Glad that's not the case.
Yeah, you got to win too, so good for you, buddy.
True. Let's see if there's anything else for this episode for Twitter. Oh, I mean, nothing better than just old Skip Bayless
Thank you, Skip.
throwing his jersey away. Just keep it in the garbage, man. Just keep it in the garbage. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then, well, I can't do it. I gotta go run at 2 a.m. anyways. What the hell am I doing? What type of backsplash is this?
I don't know. It's horrible, but this guy, man, I hate him, but I love him, man. He is so hilarious.
Man,
he's so funny.
I've never seen someone more devout to the Cowboys, so I respect it. But at the same
loves
time,
it.
just
I don't know how it works. Like, at some points, like
that's an Anchorman poster.
like journalism, like he's not really a journalist. Like,
He's
so
kind
openly,
of a himself.
yeah, you're so openly rooting for one team that like you almost
don't
can
have
never
polarized
be
one.
like, you can never be partial.
This was pretty funny though. Micah Parsons on his podcast said that the 49ers and the Cowboys are still the same caliber team. He said the score isn't indicative of what actually happened. He said, I don't think the 49ers are at a higher level than us. Well, I do.
I mean, well, I do because I just watched them shit on you.
42
So
on your ass. Like,
I don't know what you want, buddy. Like,
you got 30-point clubbed in the
you got
NFL.
pissed on.
Quite literally.
So you're not that good. Maybe by the end of the year you'll be better. But right now, no.
The 49ers just said, I see you, I chow you.
49ers said, I will chow the shit out of that.
Yeah.
You guys suck, and we're about to show you why.
And this just pissed me off. Like, California's going to ban Skittles and other candies in 2027 because of
Get
some
Newsom out.
goddamn bill. Okay. Listen
Newsom
here,
out.
you asshole. Leave my Skittles alone. Okay.
What does Skittles do to you? Oh, is it because of
Facts.
the red dye? That's why.
Who cares? Leave my Skittles alone.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to
I
hear
agree.
him tell Beast Mode he can't get any more Skittles. Oh, that would
Facts.
be. Oh.
He'll die. He will
Yeah.
get killed by beast mode. Get stabbed right in the chest. Or say, hey, you don't want Skittles anymore? Fine, but you got to do an Oklahoma drill against beast mode to secure your vote.
I'd
To
love to
secure the
see it.
Senate's vote.
You got to stop him.
You got to stop beast mode. There's a
Simple,
bowl of
right?
Skittles behind you. He gets to run at you. If you stop him, no more Skittles. Fair enough. If you're able to stop him, fair enough.
I'd
Now
live with those results.
you can bring a weapon as long as it's not a gun. You could bring a sword. You could bring a knife, and I'd still take beast mode
I'll still take Beast Mode.
as long as
I
it's
would
fully
take
padded.
This is pretty funny.
I did see
So,
this.
Yeah,
I
flag
was talking to my
football,
dad about this.
baseball, lacrosse, softball, cricket, and squash will be added to 2028.
So
LA
wasn't baseball and softball already? Aren't they
Yes.
supposed to be in this?
I think they're supposed to be in 2024.
Right? Okay, I thought so.
I
Flag
thought
football,
that was interesting.
like
Tyreek Hill put out the beacon.
yeah, but like aren't like the Olympics is in the middle of when training camp is.
Yeah.
So how are we playing in that? How are our guys? And one, is this just a ploy for like the U.S. to win more medals? Who's beating us in flag football? No country.
I don't see any country beating us.
The only one would be Canada, because at least they have an organized
Yeah.
football thing. And so maybe if all our US players don't play because they're at
In
NFL
training camp.
training camp, maybe Canada could win. But like, you're telling me we're gonna go up against like China in flag football?
Not happening.
We're gonna play like Estonia, or
No.
like what are we doing? Oh, hey, USA versus Venezuela, and like this Venezuelan guy's trying to cover Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. Like, what are we doing? What's the fun in that even? It's just like a free, just like, all right,
Free
get
medal.
the gold medal for the US. Perfect. Another free one.
Speaking of which, I don't know how it worked. I thought, did you see that Joel Embiid is gonna be playing for Team USA in
Yeah,
2024?
he has dual citizenship, I think.
I thought it was where you were born.
Not if you're a dual citizen. You can declare for either.
Okay.
So I have a lot of friends in track who are because their parents are like either Jamaican or whatever.
Mhm.
They can declare as Jamaican or they can declare as an American because they were born in the U.S. and they have citizenship. Now, I know with certain sports is once you declare, like you have to compete for that country for a certain amount of time. Like if you say, okay, I'm American and you're playing in the Olympics as American, you can't like then 3 months later play in another thing as a
Or
different country. You're kind of like locked into that for the not necessarily the foreseeable future, but for like that
that
period of
cycle.
time. You can't just like every week say, okay, I play with them and them and then them and then like you have to kind of
Okay.
declare because it's under a certain like the governing bodies have to know like where
Who
your
should-
allegiances
yeah.
lie or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I said I wasn't gonna go through the entire deal, but I'm a stooge, so we're
Oh,
just
we're
gonna
here.
finish
We
it
might
off.
as well.
Might as well. Uh, who better than to have Deshaun Watson on here?
Yep.
Deshaun Watson, medically cleared over a week ago, still not practicing today following the Browns bye week. Now, as Stooges, we said we don't read the article. I broke that. I actually did read the article.
Okay. You
Very
have
fun.
insight.
Whoever wrote this damn thing is shitting on Deshaun Watson. I mean,
Okay.
just
I
burying.
mean, it is Barstool, so
Just burying the guy. But I mean, they're saying he's medically cleared. He's not they said in the article he's practicing indoor while the team is practicing outdoor, which doesn't make sense. I personally think he doesn't want to play against the 49ers because they're going to make him look bad, so he'd rather throw DTR to the Wolves.
oh, that ain't right.
That's what it
I'll
looks.
tell you, I don't like DTR as much as the next guy, but that ain't
I don't
right.
need that.
That's not right. No one deserves that.
No, I
Nobody
mean
deserves that. It's not right.
243 million guaranteed, and you're going to tell me he's medically cleared, but he's just not practicing with the team.
Yeah, a
He's
little
inside, they're outside.
definitely
So,
questionable.
you know, hey, figure it out because
Figure it out immediately.
if you do that, I'm gonna lose a lot of respect for you. Like, just take
Facts.
your beating like a man. You're a star
And move on.
player. You got paid. Just accept it. You'll be okay.
Facts.
Hopefully, unless they just bury you real quick. Could happen.
Yeah, no, literally.
Could be. And then, I mean, this is just.
Always
know.
classic.
I don't know where in the world I can find this channel. But
Might
if
not be a
anyone
real
in the
channel.
comments knows, please let me know. I would watch this all day, every day.
Cena.
Pegou, tocou pro Gagão, agora olha o Jairzinho. Olha o pique.
vai,
Olha
vai.
pelo primeiro,
E o Anão vai.
acaba passando por ele, não
isso,
consegue pegar na sequência, já pega, bate, agora também com a
What is this,
cabeça.
Fat
Já vai,
Stooges
no
against
segundo,
Short
pegou, passou no
Stooges?
segundo,
That's what
boa,
I do.
já conseguiu, vai mandar, meteu louco, olha o M5, vai mandar um rap, vai mandar de flank,
Meu Deus.
não
Save.
conseguiu, senhora,
Save.
isso, salva o primeiro, salva o segundo, vai em busca, chamou no elástico, já tá sem oxigênio, chamou ali na xixa, não tem ali cintura, tentando no meio das
Just
pernas,
winning.
Jairzinho, passou pelos dois, que lindo lance!
I'm gonna assume the Fat Stooges are winning. Because surely they are, right?
We
Like
got pizza as.
they
as
got. Oh yes, so they are winning. They're up 4-1. Just made it 5-1.
The short boys have. I
What a strike,
believe.
honestly.
I
What
mean,
a, what a hit.
pretty good technique if I've seen it. Like, just try to kind of go
I mean, you
back
got
here.
Passou pelos dois,
Boom.
I mean, you got the whole goal to aim at, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Passa
pretty
pelos dois. Que lindo lance.
be really tough to miss.
Look at how he's just.
Yeah, I mean, these guys. How is this real? Looks like a beached whale. Looks like a walrus.
His belly's on the ground. His hands for a second aren't even touching the ground. He's already off the ground.
This guy, man. Let's celebrate. You're playing midgets.
And you're whooping their ass 5-1.
5-1.
Golaço! Éder em segundo,
Wait, who is this referee, dude? This guy's like 75.
That guy looks like, ooh, looks
like
like
a
a
freak.
pedophile. I won't lie. He looks
He
like a
does.
freak. He
He
looks like
does.
a grown-up,
Pee Wee Herman.
yeah, but like mixed with like Mr. Bean, kinda.
Yeah. But just
But
just
just
face,
like,
it's a little
but
squished a little bit.
someone who like steals kids. You
Yeah.
know, like that.
Yeah, that vibe.
Yeah, that's who.
This guy looks like he got hit in the head with a soccer ball inside.
This guy looks like he
I will
just
say
ate
so.
the soccer ball and it got like residue on him. That's what it looks like to
They
me.
fried it up on the grill and then
Pretty much.
segundo, Queta!
Man, I don't know what channel that is,
Guleta.
but somebody, if you know where
That's
that's being
fire.
played at, I would love to watch it every week.
I know.
And then it was only right. This is the
Oh,
2-year
facts.
anniversary of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the trilogy. I mean,
We don't get fights like this anymore, man.
we both watched that fight live. We think Deontay won it in the 3rd round. I mean, they gave Fury
Multiple times they'd be
longest
giving Fury a
10-second count I've ever seen.
yeah.
I think we pulled out our phone and kind of did a little clockwork. I think it was like a 15-second 10 count.
It was really long. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him scrap again. I don't know. 4th would just like be.
I don't think they will.
I don't
I'd
think
love to
they
watch
ever
it.
will, but I think it'll be Wilder Joshua. I've been hearing like January or February. We'll see.
I mean, anybody.
They'll probably never fight ever.
I don't see anybody beating Wilder besides Fury ever again.
Neither
How
do
many
I.
people are gonna get knocked down by that dude 3 times and get back up? Like,
Facts. I agree.
man, it was a crazy fight. But I'll tell you what, I know probably 5-year-olds that could count faster than that dang ref.
I forgot that it went all the way to the 11th. Like, it was a long fight. Like, I don't know how. Like, Wilder got so tired, and he kind of just like somehow battled through for 11
For, like,
rounds. It was
6
honestly
rounds.
pretty impressive. So
I didn't love when I heard that he bulked up to 225 as opposed to his normal 205, just because if it goes later on in the fight, you're just you're not used to carrying that
yeah,
weight.
I
Like
think
Fury is used to
it
it.
hurt him both ways though, because like even if he was lighter, then if Fury just laid on him, it would just be that
Kill
much
him.
tougher. He kind of just like he was almost in a lose-lose, so he tried to just like middle it.
Mhm.
Say, all right, I'm gonna gain a little weight, but not as much as I did the second fight,
Yeah.
and just like see how it goes. And it probably worked out the best. Like he definitely dropped him again and made it all the way to the 11th. But man, we don't have fights like that anymore, man. No one's fighting anybody. No one's
Nope.
fighting each other.
Nope.
Some bullshit.
I think we have KSI versus who gives a
Yeah,
shit?
KSI versus Tommy Fury this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'd
Logan
keep it.
fights Dylan Dennis.
I mean, I heard Logan on his podcast said he broke his wrist in sparring. So
He's
you know
not
what?
fighting?
They said he's still fighting, but he's got a broken wrist, so he's gonna lose, and then he'll say, "Oh, because I broke my wrist." And
Yeah, all right.
I don't
Well,
care. I just want to see these guys get in the ring.
Just want to
Like-
see him actually show up and fight.
Serious. Shut your mouth. Get in the ring. Duke it out.
Yeah.
I mean, tired of seeing all the stupid shit on Twitter and
Facts.
all this back and forth and a cease and desist and a lawsuit for defamation. And it's
I ain't got time, man. Square up in the ring.
Yeah, this is a fight. I didn't come to watch Judge Judy.
Facts.
So we'll have to peep it. I'll pull it up on the old screen and we'll have a couple beers while watching it. And
Yeah.
see what we got going on.
We'll have to give a full recap.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen a post that was more accurate. If I go to a burger joint, I see any of these establishments set
It's
up.
not looking good, buddy.
I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see something up on the top of the menu that says like, we use only like grass fed, open range beef, and we give the beef a bedtime story, tell the cow, it's special, and
I
I gotta
will
pay
say
$30 for it. So
I will say there's a spot in, the Glendora Marketplace,
I know which one you're talking about.
the Golden Eatery.
Yeah.
Those burgers hit.
Yeah. That might
Those
be the
burgers
only place that hits with this type
Yeah,
of setup.
yeah, but I think it only has that setup because, like, that's the vibe of, like, the whole
The
marketplace. Like, I
marketplace,
just
yeah.
pulled it up over here. I wanna just, like, see the menu because
Speaking of a menu, bro, we gotta shout out the Buffalo spot. I mean, that place.
Oh, yeah, the smash bur like, these smash burgers, Texas bourbon, barbecue smash,
uh,
triple smash, double smash, chili
uh,
smash.
uh,
I mean, they were good, man, I will not lie.
would you smash?
Yeah, probably. I didn't know they had loaded fries too.
Oh no, they're just going crazy.
Yeah, but this place was pretty fire. Their smash I didn't even know. I walked over there because I just thought it was just, like, normal food because I went over there, like, probably a month ago,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, they got burgers here? I'm kinda in for a burger." I'm like, "Oh, I'll get a double smash burger and a ice cold Dr. Pepper." Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I was like, "Whoa,
I'm gonna have to go
this
over
is
there.
fire."
I'm gonna have to go back there. I tried the sushi joint there, very good.
Good.
Tried the Mexican food spot, don't know the name of it.
Okay.
Also nice
Yeah, I've
location.
had a lot from the Mediterranean place. They got some good wraps over there. I've had the boba spot a couple times.
There's a
They
nice
got
little
the
brewery inside of there
They got
too.
it yeah, they got a doghouse over there too. They got Doghouse always has some good burgers.
Oh,
That place you can get those giant, like, shakes, those, like it's
what?
like a crepe and
Oh,
shake. It's, like, over, like, in one of the corners. It's kind of, like,
never
obscure. It's
tried
not
that.
in the main, like, area,
Hmm.
and they make, like, these shakes that are, like, just giant, and, like, they give you a shake in, like, a big mug or something like that. It was pretty crazy.
There's a place over. Um, it's like right over by Target in San Dimas. It's pretty much. I'm trying to think of the shopping center because they change the name of the damn thing every like
Yeah.
2 weeks. Uh, Basically, it's right down the street from that Target, and it's called the Yogurt Place, and like kind of a
Okay.
mom and pop shop. And bro, they give you your like yogurt deal inside of a fresh made crepe, and like they put the Nutella on the
Alright.
inside. You get the mochi on top. You get the toppings. You get the this. I mean,
Sounds like a
it's life
vibe.
changing stuff. I'm trying to think of the name of the street, and I just can't get it. I don't think it's Glenwood. It goes through Arrow Highway, but I'm trying to think of the cross street. Whatever.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out, and we'll let you guys know
yeah. Let you know.
where you can get some we can get some bullshit.
Get some diabetes. I don't know. I found this right before we hopped on, man. I don't know what the hell this is really. I read through it. Apparently, in 1996, a Canadian inventor named Troy Her- Hertubis, Hertubis,
Mhm.
Hertubis, whatever, created this metal suit of armor to enable him to take on and fight off a grizzly bear. Now, great idea, but the
Yeah.
test that he puts this thing through is just absolute gold. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to show. Gets better.
What the hell?
Gets better, bro.
What is this?
Just a down a couple.
Are bears setting up booby traps with, like they're the Ewoks in Star Wars, and they're, like, just, like, putting traps out for you? What the What bear is I didn't know bears were just gonna swing a baseball bat at your head.
I think my absolute favorite one is either him
You guys
rolling down
getting
the hill
annihilated, bro.
or this one. It was like an F-150
Oh, he just gets
with a
annihilated. Like, that a suit doesn't help you from that, like, you're still getting hit with the full blunt force of a car.
I just don't know why. Like, what investor did he show this to? They're like, you know what? I'm in.
But, like, how many times? Like, what's the market for that? How many people on a daily are fighting off grizzly bears that think like, "You know
Yeah,
what? I need this. I need a suit for this," instead of
suit of
just,
armor.
"Let me just sit on my porch and shoot it in the face with a gun." Like, "You know what? I need a suit. I wanna take him in hand-to-hand combat. That's what I wanna
Yeah,
do."
I want to really show him who's boss before I take his life. Just let him know,
Facts.
like, hey. I'm the alpha here, brother.
Facts.
I just, bro. I'm watching the Monday night game tonight, and I just scroll through Twitter and I see that, and I'm like, yeah,
Like,
that,
what's going on here?
yeah. I'm thinking that's making the pod.
I'm thinking we're gonna have to talk about that.
And then this one. I mean, I think this is a classic. I don't think we've shown this one, but I mean, this kid just gets caught, just not paying attention, just got a little too caught up with what his environment is around him. Probably Vegas.
Oh no.
And I mean, this kid, he's young, but he knows.
Hey, we've been there, man.
It happens.
You just get enamored, and then
Yeah.
you lose all sense of reality.
Yeah, you take your eyes off the prize. Usually it's you're in a car and you got to make sure you don't hit someone in front of you. But for him, that's a little bicycle. It's probably a little small collision.
Yeah.
He is wearing his helmet though, so like, not too much damage being done here.
That's
I
good.
absolutely love the ooh la
La la.
la.
And then just
Just
dies. Face into wall. Face
and
into glass.
we had time to get out of the way. That's the key
Yeah,
thing.
we had a lot of room. There's no pedestrians, nothing. Big sidewalk, and we just couldn't do it.
Just keep going, keep going.
Bang.
Nice.
Nice kid.
Been there, little man. It happens. You dust
Been
your
there.
shoulders off, and just keep moving.
Oh, I saw this.
Next up, yeah, I mean,
I guess we'll end on this, huh? We
unfortunately,
just can't have shit.
but this just brings the question, bro. Like, if MW3 is really good and COD is actually back, like at that
This
point,
game's dead.
am I really gonna want to pay $60 to buy X Defiant that
I know.
I was supposed to have as a precursor, like to kind of get me from midsummer to the release, and now I get to like I'll play MW3 and then play X Defiant. Like I just don't.
Yeah, like once,
I think they
like
missed the mark.
they had their chance, man. They had their chance. When the beta came out, it was popping. People liked it. They needed to capitalize, release it within the month, release it in like June, July. Boom, you would have been good. You would have had like 3 months to really build it up before COD drops, and then like the people who really like it and want to stay would stay, and the people who want to go try COD and like, oh, I actually think Xdefiant's better. You would have brought people back. Like
Yeah,
now it's just like, no, it's over. Once people get on COD, they're not gonna want to then shift unless COD is so bad, but it's never that bad the first like month or two. People are always
no,
just gonna
you're
stick it out
locked.
and play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Not good.
I'm just wondering. I didn't play the public test sessions because I was working when they were available. Sorry about it. But what could have gone so wrong in the public test that you just said we can't
We
release
can't
it?
really, yeah.
Was it those stupid little spiders that run up and you can't shoot them really at
Maybe.
all? And
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't get a chance to play it either, and I don't even really know anybody who did play it.
I saw
But
clips, but they look
yeah,
fine.
man. They had their shot.
Oh,
Shooters will always just mess up. I'm gonna
rest,
pull one thing up
rest
before
in peace,
we
X Defiant.
before we end. Just because now that I found the crepes place, just want to show off what crepes and shakes.
Oh,
Yeah, this is what they're cooking over there.
I'm thinking they're doing some things right.
Right? I mean, it almost seems like too much. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot. Like I don't know how you even like. How do you drink? I don't know.
I don't know,
Use
but
a.
I want
Do
to
I use
find
a
out. Like I want
straw?
to try. Like I might not succeed with drinking the whole thing, but I need to try.
To the brim. Like how do I attack this? I just like stuff my face on it and just hope.
Ayo,
Hope and pray. If you got a
little
Barbie one,
Barbie.
little Barbie action.
I'm sure that was a big seller during the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you get like a sweet little mug with it.
Hell, I would have drank that when I was in the movie. I needed something like that.
Is this drink going to make me fabulous? Of course. Nice.
I thought it would have been funny. Or probably
Yeah, so
not.
there's crepes and shakes. Check it out. No free ads, but I saw it and I was like, this kind of looks insane.
Yeah, that that is insane. The place I'm talking about, I believe it's owned by, I don't know if they're German, but they're definitely, in that ballpark.
Yeah,
But
they're
they'll
that
they'll make
European.
you
Yeah.
they'll
Alright.
make you a sweet little crepe setup, and
Okay.
crepes fresh, and you're probably gonna
Lovely.
get diabetes, but you'll bounce back.
Most likely. Most likely.
All right, man. I think we covered everything for
I think
today.
that'll wrap it up.
So
Yeah.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out the Studio Experience.
Appreciate
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below, and tell us, if we're big dumb dipshits on what we told you about. If you hate
Mhm.
the crepe place, tell him.
Yeah, that was my recommendation.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry. My bad.
Yeah. So, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you next week. Peace.
See ya.